Hi, welcome back to our next Throwback Thursday, where I talk about my seizures in chronological order. So on this one, we're going to be talking about my 3-day at-home EEG, or an ambulatory EEG they call it. I think where we left off on the last one was my seizure I had on September 4th, 2019. And they had started me on trileptal for that one. So at this point, I had been on trileptal for about a month, and I guess it had been going okay. The side effects I had from that were fatigue and irritability, which wasn't so uncommon for me, if you know me at all. Again, I attributed that to just being stressed in general from these life changes I was having, and not necessarily equating it to the medicine, just kind of like, okay, I'm just getting used to all these new changes in life. So again, it had been a month, no seizure, so I was like, okay, this medicine's working, going right along, figuring this out. And so my neurologist, since the MRI and the 1-hour in-office EEG hadn't showed any results, because I didn't have a seizure in any of those, scheduled this 3-day EEG that was going to be in my house. And so that was for October 1st, 2019. So what happened was this gentleman came into our home, and he was very nice, very efficient, just right to the point. Came in, had his little gear set up, went into my kitchen, we sat down. He explained to me what was going to happen, asked me a few questions, had to fill out some paperwork, and then got right to it. He had these electrodes he had to attach all along my head. You know, he didn't have to shave my hair, anything like that. Just, part of my hair. It was about 20 electrodes attached to wires. He used a gel-like adhesive and then put medical tape over it to attach it. Insert picture here. Lovely. And then put a blue cap over it to kind of keep them in place that he's applied. And then all the wires he kept together, and they came over my shoulder and attached to a little blue machine or whatever that I just carried over my shoulder the entire time that I had it. Another picture here. So, I was able to walk around with that. I just couldn't ever take it off of me. So, going to the bathroom, whatever, not a big deal. And then also Danny thought it was a custom job, but it was like a little carry-on bag, like a Samsonite that had a little computer in it that was wireless, and it had a big long pole with a video camera attached to it, so he could record me the entire 3 days so they could see exactly what I was doing. So I kind of needed to be in the same spot the entire time. And I couldn't sleep laying down because, you toss, you turn, all that kind of stuff, and might mess up everything. So he said I needed to sleep upright. Luckily, our couch has 3 options to recline in. So I picked a spot and I just posted up there for the 3 days. I slept on the couch, I reclined, had things brought to me. It wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. Oh, one more thing about the gel adhesive, whatever. A lot of people have asked, how hard is it to get out? Oh, do you have to, is it like the Gorilla Glue lady? That poor lady. In my experience, no. It took about 3 shampoo rinses to get out, and not a problem. Although I do have kind of thin, fine hair. I don't know if you have thick, curly hair, if that would be different, but my experience wasn't too bad, came right out, was okay. So, anyway, he was recording me the whole time, video feed, even at night. It was all wireless, so I didn't have to worry about carrying that with me everywhere. It was just the little attached shoulder bag. And one thing that was worrying that I asked the guy when he was here, I was like, the whole point is to get a seizure recorded on camera on these machines so they can see what's happening. And it had been a whole month since I'd had one. I was like, you know, I only know, at that point, I really only knew one or two triggers, and one of those was taking NyQuil or Benadryl to help me sleep. I'd always had seizures when I took those. And he's like, I can't tell you to try and have a seizure to trigger, but so that but told me you really kind of do want to have a seizure on this. But at that point, I was still scared of having a seizure. They still scared me because, grand malls are, you don't know you're having them. You're not aware, but it was still kind of traumatic at that point, just because waking up and being told something had happened to you and you're not aware kind of freaks you out. So, we had three days, 2 nights to decide what we were going to do. Because, a lot was riding on this. I have great health insurance. And even with that great health insurance, our copay for all of this was $900. So, that was a lot riding on if nothing happened and we had no results, nothing for them to report back on or figure out. So I can't remember exactly why, but we chose not to try and trigger a seizure manually. Like, I was sitting there trying to mentally have one. I was like, come on, just, you can do it, brain. You can short circuit. You can make it happen. But no, nothing. I was relaxed. The trileptal was working. I was fine and kind of defeated. By the second night, I had just resigned myself to, okay, I thought about the NyQuil, but, for whatever reason, I don't remember exactly, but no. And so, I went to sleep that second night, staring at the video camera, watching me, and my husband Danny said around 10:30 that night after I fell asleep, he heard a familiar noise come out of me, a guttural sound, and he said he jumped out of bed, come running in here, and saw me having a grand mal seizure. So I was excited when I came out of it, and he's like, you had one. I was like, oh, thank God, maybe we'll get an answer, we'll figure out what's going on. So, yes. We, thank goodness, on the last day, I don't know why, I don't know how, but on October 4th, I had my next grand mal seizure. And when the guy came that day to pick up his stuff, he walked in, he's like, well, how'd it go? It's like, I had one last night. And he's like, oh, good. So he was happy for me too. So somehow, some way, that worked out. Maybe it was me stressing out so much. That's what I'm going to attribute it to. I was stressed out that I hadn't had one yet. I had a stress seizure. So the results we got from that were that I was having a frontal lobe seizure, whatever that means. So yeah, the seizures were happening up there. And also that I was having multiple seizure activity throughout the day, little seizures that I wasn't aware of. Say what now? So, I'm guessing that means little things were happening that my brain was automatically shutting off before I could realize it. Now that's just me theorizing. I have nothing to base that off of. I'm no doctor. If he said it was constantly showing seizure activity that wasn't, I don't know, wasn't coming up for me. Whatever. But yeah, so at least we got some results out of it. It was great. Glad that worked out for us. So yeah, it was worth the $900. We got some answers that, proof I have epilepsy. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Have y'all had any EEG? Was it the 1 hour? Was it the 3 day? Has it worked for you? Were you able to have a seizure? Or did you just get screwed out of some money and no results and had to have another one? Yeah, let me know what you guys have experienced. And please like, comment, and share. Subscribe if you haven't. So for the next Throwback Thursday, I'll give you a teaser. This is the first time that my husband decided, oh my gosh, it's finally time to take her to the emergency room. And with good reason, we found out. So hope to see you for that. Bye.